Hi, this is CK with today's advice for life. Today I want to talk about buying your first house. Whether you're a college grad, maybe you're 35 years old, maybe you're 40 years old, doesn't really matter about the age, but let's just talk generally about buying your first house. First of all, I would highly recommend that if at all possible, that you save up 20% to put down as a down payment. Now I know that's a big amount for most people. So let's say you're buying a $400,000 house. 20% down would be $80,000. So people say, man, that's a lot of money. Now, if you're a recent college grad and you're making $80,000 a year, and you go back and live with your parents so that you can save up money every month, what I would do is I would decide, well, how much money could I save after I pay this and this and this? How much money could I save? And if you could save, I'm just making up a number. Let's say you can save $2,000 a month, okay? If you can save $2,000 a month, you're going to save $24,000 per year. And so, you take however many number of years, you say, okay, if I save for 4 years, whatever, I think I can save that amount up, okay? This goes to say, if you're 30 years old, if you're 40 years old, you gotta be saving up money to put down on a house. Now, I'm not saying it has to be 20%. If you say that's absolutely impossible, well, then 15, or if not, then 10. But I'm just saying, ideally, if you could do 20%, then you'll save on PMI insurance, and then you'll be that much closer to paying off that house sooner. Okay, so let's just say, ideally, if you can put 20% down on a house, that's great. Now, when you're looking at this house and you say, I'm going to put 20% down and the remaining 80%, I'm going to get a loan, you're going to get the mortgage. And you got to see what that mortgage is and how much money you have to pay on that mortgage every month. It's not just a loan amount, right? It's not just how much I owe to the bank. Is that plus escrow? Escrow is for property taxes. You got to look at HOA fees if there are any. You got to look at all the expenses that the house may incur, okay? Like electric bills and other things like that. And there's always things, if you buy a house, there's always things that requires money. Your water heater broke, or your water pipe busted, or you got to fix something, or you got to repaint something, or the HOA tells you got to repair your fence, or whatever the thing is. There's always things that happen. And so I always say, look, you should have maybe $20,000 or so. If you could have 15, 20,000, something like that, you got to have sort of that cushion money when you're going into a house. You can't just go in and say, well, I bought the house, but now it's like paycheck to paycheck. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And if something happens, what happens? If something happens, what are you going to do? If something happens that requires $5,000 and you got to buy a new, heater, a new air conditioning unit or something, what are you going to do? And so you got to have some cushion money there, and you got to have cushion money anyway. Okay, I've told in past videos, you should plan on at least having 6 months, minimum 6 months. Is better if you have a year, but if you have 6 months worth of expenses, sort of that emergency money. Okay, but you should have that money, and you got to have that if you're going to buy a house. Some things will always happen. Plus, you got a car. Something's going to happen with the car. You need new tires. So you'll need a new car at some point. So you got to have some money saved. You got to have some cushion money saved up. Okay. So in addition to that, when you buy your house, if you put 20% down, and you want to go into there, don't just look at the house. You got to look at the neighborhood. You got to look at the location. Okay. It's better to have a okay house in a great location than a really good house in a very crappy location. Because you're going to live there every single day. And every time you go out, if you hate your neighborhood, if you hate your neighbors, if you hate the place where you're living, that's not good. The house you can fix. The neighbors you can't fix. Okay, the neighborhood, you can't really fix that. The house, if you have, well, I don't know, I like hardwood, I like, but we got carpet. Okay, you can save up money and replace that. Okay, you can get rid of the carpet and do that. I don't like the paint color. No big deal. You can repaint your house. So you can fix things like that. Okay, but you cannot fix your neighborhood. So make sure you go into a location, a neighborhood that is safe, that makes you happy, that makes you feel good, the neighbors are good, because that vibe right there is very, very important, because you're going to live there every single day. Okay, so you got to do that. Now, once you buy your house, you can't just be happy and say, okay, now that I bought my house, I'm going to do this and this and this, and I'm gonna renovate everything. Pause, slow down. When you buy your house, you got to first think about, okay, now I got a 30-year mortgage, okay, and every month I got to pay this mortgage, and it's going to take me 30 years to pay this off. So you want to pay that, you don't want to take 30 years to pay that off. So you got to bring that in and say, now, how could I pay it off in 10 years? How could I pay it off in 10? So now you start calculating, and you can go Google amortization, mortgage amortization tables or something, calculators, mortgage payoff calculators, and you got a bunch of things that come up. And you click on one of those, and you put in, this is my mortgage, this is my interest rate, this is my principal, and if I pay this much extra a month, how much faster would I be able to pay off my mortgage? You want to calculate that, and you want to have a plan to pay off your mortgage in 10 years, not 30, maybe 12 years, something like that, but not 30, okay? Because here's the thing, the faster you pay off your house, let's say you were paying a mortgage of $2,000 a month every month you were paying. That's $2,000 a month that you can't have, okay? But you pay off your house. So imagine today your house is paid off. That $2,000 that was going out, that's extra cash flow right there. That's extra $2,000, right? Now, you still have to pay property taxes and HOA fees and things like that. But, the big thing is gone. So that money that was going out, it's not going out anymore. It's the same as making $2,000 more a month, okay? So, or whatever, your mortgage is $3,000. Maybe it was higher, whatever. Whatever amount was going out, it's not going out anymore. And if you manage your money well, and you're not going like, oh, we're going to go buy a, $120,000 car now, that, don't do something crazy like that. But you manage your money well. If you do that, you're going to just be a lot better, okay? So, that's what I recommend. That's my advice for today. If you have any questions, it's impossible to answer every single question for every single kind of situation in this kind of thing. It's a very broad topic. So if you have other questions about this or anything like that, just put them in the comments and I will read them and I will correspond. Be sure to go to my channel, click on playlist, and there are 5 categories if you click on playlist. There's college prep advice, there's career success advice, there's parenting advice, there's money and personal finance advice, and there's mindset for success video. Thanks for watching, and until my next video, I hope you stay well.